A response video to Bella again. And she says we agree about 83% of stuff, but it seems like we disagree with about more than that. Or else I guess we disagree about the most important things. So I guess the most important part of her video was the message to me that I don't know how to listen. Or it's rusty. My listener is rusty. And, you know, it's just so easy. It's like the easiest critique or ridicule that can come out of your mouth is to say to somebody, oh, you're just not listening. That's why you're not getting it. That's why you're not seeing that Luke's really just a wonderful guy who's just trying to sell a wonderful product. And if you give it time and you listen to him, it'll all make sense. No, it's cult nonsense. It is based on complete and utter bullshit. I mean, I'm going to do another video on his guru, you know, and the preposterous crap that comes out of his mouth. I mean, it is built on lies, and there's no other reason to lie than to be, you know, you have to have an ulterior motive to be lying, right? It's got to be something else. The agenda is something else. And the agenda is, strictly speaking, the Republican Party jargon. And so they found this new weapon. You know, this is how they're going to seduce the young pups, the young little morons. And, you know, they're going to disguise republicanism as freedom. And that's all it's about. These are just greedy warmongering jackasses. It's their philosophy in repackaged. And that's all it is. And that's why I consider it a threat, yes, because it's bad enough we have the apathetic out there. We have this whole huge population that just couldn't give a damn. All they care about is Britney Spears and whatever other pop culture bullshit is out there. And then so you have people that have a little bit of education, a little bit of intelligence, and now they're seduced by a bunch of conspiracy theory bullshit. I mean, 9/11 wasn't really Arab terrorists. The Federal Reserve is, you know, stolen zillions and zillions and zillions of dollars somehow. And the income tax is the most horrendous, awful, evil tax on earth. Yeah. I'm paying $70 for a carton of cigarettes. And people are going to tell me that the income tax is the worst and most evil tax on earth. Well, yeah, I don't buy it. A progressive income tax. A flat tax on consumers, no matter what their income is a much better idea. Oh, yeah. Let's sell that one. You know, it's just, you know, so don't, you know, don't tell me to listen. I have listened. I've listened to hours of this crap to make these videos. And I have searched for their intentions, their, you know, to understand their motivation. And their motivation, it's based on the idea of, oh, it's so simple. You know, it's like I said, it's like a cult. It's you know, it's not a complex religion. It's a very simple religion. And so that's appealing because they don't have to think too hard. They just have some bogus principle. Oh, yeah, I like freedom. Non-initiation of violence. What a great idea. Non-initiation of violence. What the fuck does that mean? You're initiating violence when you pass a law that says I'm going to shoot you if you try to rob a bank, or I'm going to shoot you if you commit some other crime. I mean, that's initiation of violence. I mean, it's just stupid. I have this, you know, why am I even having this, you know, having to have this conversation is an irritant. Yeah, I listen. I know how to listen. And the fact that I am harsh in my argument style, well, whatever. I'm not making apologies for that. I think it's appropriate. I think there's no point in bullshit. There's no point in, well, listen, my dear friend from, you know, wherever you're from, yeah, there's no point in arguing like that. There's no point in patronizing each other. I want to say it plain and simple. And yeah, the Republican Party, Republican politics is basically the Death Star. And if I should use a Star Wars analogy, that's the Empire. And anything that's going to affiliate itself with that, which libertarians have, forget it. Yeah, because those people have an agenda. And it's the Christian religious agenda, it's the make a war anytime you possibly can agenda, and it's let's have nobility, rule the world. They're big fans of legacy wealth. They call inheritance taxes the death tax. See, it's all rhetoric, that's all it is. It's just rhetoric. Instead of calling it the born with a silver spoon in your mouth avoidance tax or preposterous Head Start prevention tax, they call it the death tax, because it's convenient rhetoric, and that's all it is. It's rhetoric, because they'll only see the part of the equation where, oh well, we have a right to be nepotistic and take awfully good care of our own, and they don't see the free ride, unfair fight, bogus competition part, because that's the part that's the real world part. That's the part that we live. That's the world we live in, And everybody knows, like I said, nobody's going to stop working because they can't give their kids $1 trillion. That's just silly, People work because they enjoy their work, especially when you're rich. It's fun being rich. I imagine it's fun being rich. And it's fun as your job. Washing dishes sucks. Digging trenches, digging up sewer lines and repairing them sucks. There's lots of jobs that suck. Being rich probably doesn't suck. The work is probably kind of interesting. So anyway, enough on that. Just for the hell of it, I will point out that you think Star Trek is a great future. Yeah, it's a great, it works for 400 select people in an atmosphere where no one has any children. It's really great because you don't got to pay any property taxes to educate the fucking little bastards. And everybody's okay. It's a nice little 400 people world on your spaceship. So I don't know. We never get to see what real Earth looked like in Star Trek, and so I guess I wouldn't say, maybe the Enterprise wasn't what people were living in the real Earth world, because I guess they were still having kids and still paying property taxes to educate them, and still retired and got old. Nobody ever got old on the Enterprise. So I'd say that if I was going to have the movie that would be my future, I'd say it was more like Blue Lagoon, except one of us would be one of us would have to be infertile. So yeah, that seemed to work. 2 people on an island, yeah, okay, that works. Fuck the rest of the human race. So anyway, if we're going to talk in practicalities, that's fine, but that's, what does that have to do with reality? And so then, I guess the last thing, well, I can go on the animal thing. It's animals don't care about their longevity. It's really not an issue to them, and they don't really care about their survival of their species. It's not an issue for them. And I can presume, or you can presume, but that's all it is. One of us is going to presume what the animal needs. And so I say it doesn't need survival, and it doesn't need what it needs is what it's hungry for, and what it knows it wants to avoid, which is pain. And so it needs that to be understood. I don't think we need to appreciate its need to live or its want to live, because I don't think it has any such thing. So what I'm saying is that as a practical matter, it's not my ideal, but as a practical matter, look, if we're going to have too many deer and we can't come to some kind of way to do this other than they end up being farmed, where we have this overpopulation, so the hunters have an excuse to go out and kill them with bow and arrows, and 30,000 people in this state hit them with cars, and then we also have this Lyme disease tick problem. I actually had that, and it's not pleasant, let me tell you. And it's killed people, and they spread it, these deers. So it's a problem, it's not gonna, it's got to be dealt with. And bringing back mountain lions doesn't seem a very good idea. And if, like I said, if all we're gonna do is get to some sustainable population with hunting, well then fuck it. I say, yeah, eradicate them. Okay, do it humanely and once and get it over with. And we can prevent, so much more pain in the long run by imposing a little bit of pain in the short run. And like I say, I think we can do it painlessly. I think we can euthanize them in a humane manner. Certainly not in a recreational manner. And yeah, and like I said, I'd probably do the same for whales and everything else, because there's obviously the human race can't live with animals in a respectful manner. We're always just, if we save them, then all they're going to do is be farmed. We'll take a certain percentage of the population every year. 1/3 of the deer population in this state is killed every year. 1/3. So think about that. If 1/3 of the human race was killed every year, that's the definition of a holocaust. Who'd want to live that life? And so, yeah, as a practical matter, I think the solution is to exterminate them.